What's up? What's up? Your boy Domuto. We're back with another video today. We're watching What If Goku Was in DC Part 19. Yes, sir. This is an hour-long, 52-minute video. So we're gonna get into it. Shout out to the Geek for Fun for this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and let's go.
The strongest under the heavens shall be determined today! Kakarot Kent vs. the Justice League!
The Justice League's popularity was waning in the public eye. President Luthor's criticisms having taken their toll on the team's perception.
This is part of an ongoing series. Get caught up by using the link in the description.
So an idea was hatched from the lips of a quiet soul. Cassandra Cain had suggested the League stage a massive charity event, as it had done in the past. Crowds always came out in droves to see the heroes they loved perform amazing feats.
Look good playing baseball.
However, these events ended when Luthor joined the League. He insisted that efforts should be focused through LexCorp's outreach programs. Kakarot thought that Superman just made things boring, but Cassandra quite bluntly pointed out that since Superman was no longer a member of the Justice League, why should they still do things his way? So this tournament was arranged, serving the dual purpose of also being a gift to Kakarot from his teammates in celebration of his safe return to Earth and hopeful continued health.
You don't stand a chance. I was captain of the Coast City Crane High School baseball team.
They'd never let me play.
The first event was as grand as you could get. A cosmic game of baseball, 1v1. Green Lantern took his position in the very limits of Earth's stratosphere, while Kakarot tied up his boots on the surface of the sun, the Saiyan being able to breathe because of a special device provided by a Leo Quinton. Hal Jordan kissed his ring and created a massive baseball bat big enough to cast a shadow over the planet, while Kakarot brought his hands to his chest and charged up his ki to its absolute limits.
Here we go, folks! As you can see from the equipment provided by Wayne Enterprises and Leo Quintum's project, they're about to begin. I'll remind you that Green Lantern has to hit back Kakarot's ki blast and then make it all across the solar system and back before his Saiyan ally can recapture the energy orb and tag him out with it.
Cannon!
Hal pulled the massive baseball bat
What the fuck is Broly though?
perfectly cracked it against a ball of ki, knocking it far away from the planet and off to the deepest reaches of the solar system.
Green Lantern is in motion! So let's check in on Kakarot chasing down that energy blast.
The Super Saiyan was moving so fast that his eyes were useless. He didn't need them. His sensing abilities had grown to the point that he could read and dodge between asteroids without losing a single bit of his momentum. Compared to the Green Lantern, or even his other contemporaries, Kakarot's flight was a loud, ugly, ramshackle thing. The equivalent of strapping a spiritual rocket to your back and hoping for the best. But he'd honed it, mastered it, made it efficient, and now moving far faster than the speed of light was effortless for him. The beam was now right next to him, his sensors making it seem as if it was in slow motion. The Super Saiyan prepared and focused his energy to his arms and dove right in front of the blast's path of destruction. His hands crashed against the crackling energy. His focus was on maintaining the perfect center point, or else the beam would just wash over him in a wave. Blocking energy effectively took a calm mind, but most importantly, the guts to stare death in the face and say, "Your move."
Good, great, awesome, outstanding,
How the fuck are you watching this with the shadow
Before
light?
our very eyes, Kakarot Kent is actually holding back his own energy blast. No, wait, he stopped it outright? Enough raw power to turn our world to ash, held effortlessly by our champion! But the battle has just begun. Green Lantern has already grabbed a meteorite from Uranus and is landing on the surface of Pluto. He now only has to grab some ice from the cold dwarf planet and make it back to Earth. Then he's home free. Can Kakarot catch up in time?
Hal Jordan skidded across the surface of the tiny planet, his free hand scraping chunks of ice from the ground. With the bases circled, now he was on his way home. The velocity of a Green Lantern when traveling in a straight line was unmatched across the universe. Kakarot stood no chance of catching up now. Hal smirked to himself as he saw the pale blue dot he called home getting closer and closer, until it was replaced on the horizon in a burst of violet. The lantern tried to stop, but his own speed was his undoing, as Kakarot appeared before him, holding the Chaos Cannon out in front of his body. The only thing Hal could do was raise his shields and brace for impact.
Boy.
And just like that, Green Lantern is out of here. Kakarot Kent takes the first round.
You okay, buddy? I tried to take some of the power back from that one, but I might have overdone it when I cooked it up.
I'm good. Only thing you hurt was my pride. That's been bruised before, though. Great job out there, bud.
In order to afford the Justice League the time off to have this event, allies from all over the world had been mobilized on patrols, just to make sure no supervillains hatched schemes while the most powerful heroes were occupied. One of those allies was the Saiyan Prince Vegeta.
That nigga Vegeta looks so
His
clean,
efforts
bro.
at public reform had
That shit do look
improved
fire.
since the incident at Kandak some months ago, but he still had to have a chaperone. So Steve Trevor was tagging along. The two were responding to small incidents, which was very frustrating to the prince.
Obviously.
When I agreed to these reform efforts, I was promised some challenge. So far, you've had us chasing down riffraff. Don't those scouters of yours have anything worth my time?
Riff Raff is funny.
Sorry, your not so highness. Looks like the best I have is one of Flash's guys. Calls himself the Trickster. I know how much you like those tricky types.
It will suffice. I could use a victim.
You know, I shouldn't be, but not gonna lie, I'm here for it.
Vegeta smirked at his companion. Perhaps the two of them could find a way to get along after all. The pair quickly tracked the Trickster down to his hideout.
Fuck no.
He'd taken over a former Spencer's Gifts at an abandoned mall. They entered with perhaps too much caution, as the only trap set up for them was an assault of sound from several wall-mounted fake fish that began to sing.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Hello, my right-time girl.
Send me a kiss by one. Baby, my heart's on fire.
He had crashed out.
You'll never stop my scheme. Within the hour, every school in the city will smell like rotten eggs.
Pathetic. Trevor, this one's part of a gang, yes?
Yeah, most of them are at large, actually.
Good. You're going to tell me where they are. All of them.
Ha! As if I would tattle on my fellow rogues.
You don't understand. This is not a negotiation. We're not in your little hideout. This is an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
Wait, what are you doing with that rubber chicken? No. The view screens in the arena were now displaying a beautiful island scene. Queen Mera of Atlantis stood in her full glory,
Okay.
waving and talking to the locals who were kind enough to accommodate this event. Beside her, Aquaman, her husband, doing some stretches to prepare for this challenge. Kakarot was sitting down, playing with the sand, and resting as much as he could between bouts.
For our next round, we venture into the realm aquatic. The King and Queen of Atlantis will both participate in this event, but Aquaman's role is going to be a little different. The two will split the ocean like the legends of old, and Aquaman will proceed to run down the newly created path. Whoever splits them apart further, and long enough for him to run without getting wet, will be the winner!
With a kiss on the cheek, Aquaman readied himself as Mera concentrated. She drew upon all of the power of her hydrokinesis, for this feat would require everything she had.
Oceans, you shall obey your queen, the Queen of Atlantis.
Hey, I think it
In
smells
a
fishy.
surge of biblical power, the waves rose up and split down the middle for miles. Mera's body shaking a little
It has
as
to,
she
right? It has
struggled
to.
to hold back the intense fury of the deep. But she could hold it, and Arthur ran at incredible speed, crossing all the way to the next island before a drop landed on him.
Stupendous! What a duo those two make! Can Kakarot match such a clear display of mastery over
That's a whole
one's
filler.
chosen element?
Kakarot got up, smiled at the two, and fired a gigantic beam from his hand, one that expanded in size as it traveled, and split the ocean from the island to the next continent, and eventually the entire
the whole video.
planet, as it circled back 2 more times.
All
Like
right,
we watch it.
this should hold for about the next hour, so you can take a break if you need to.
I concede. Your power defies reason, Kakarot. Marvelous work.
This tournament, huh?
And another round goes to Kakarot Kent. He's 2 for 2! No man or woman can stop him!
How about a Wonder Woman?
Oh,
That's
shit.
right, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is a
Get your lotion.
contest of chaos. The Super Saiyan versus the Princess of the Amazons, the leader of the Justice League, Wonder Woman!
2 weapons were drawn. Kakarot's Ryujingu Bang, Diana's sword forged by Hephaestus. But the Amazon was also wielding something that wasn't a weapon at all. The Golden Perfect rested in her other hand. No words were exchanged by the two, simply knowing smiles as they waited for their foe to make a move. The rowdy crowd fell silent as a wave
That's
of
funny.
intensity flowed over the moon, building to a breaking point. Until Kakarot lunged forward with a downward staff strike. Diana parried and responded by sending out some of the lasso towards the Saiyan. Kakarot used the staff to pole jump out of the way, landing behind Diana, then spinning around with the weapon, extending as he pivoted, creating a
Kakarot.
miniaturized tornado from the speed of the move. Wonder Woman responded with poise, smacking away each spinning strike at the perfect angle to deflect their power, until once again sending out the lasso to catch the spinning top Saiyan.
Unbelievable! In a stark contrast to the previous displays of power, this bout is a masterclass on weapons handling from both parties. But what will win out? Precision or versatility?
Kakarot had
Versatility.
managed to continue his offensive and avoid Diana's attempts to subvert his guard, erupting in an increasing flurry of staff strikes, the blows exceeding the thousands, causing Wonder Woman to fall back, unable to accurately deal with the Saiyan's flowing and constantly shifting offense. Her sword was smacked into the air in one decisive strike to her wrist, and the Super Saiyan seemed perfectly positioned to end this fight.
You still make the same mistakes, Kakarot.
With a smile and an elegant motion, the Golden Perfect, which had been left laid all across the arena
Not the
was
motherfucking
pulled
rope.
taut and wrapped around Kakarot's leg, arm, torso, neck, and face, causing him to fall to the floor, trapped, as his own weapon fell on top of the helpless Saiyan.
You let your guard down too easily. Being relaxed and flexible is great, but you mustn't become overconfident.
Yeah, sometimes I am a bit too sure of myself. Like that time I thought I could eat the whole cow without Ma finding out.
Diana's
What the
sword
fuck?
was just a diversion. Her true ally was always the lasso.
And the Super Saiyan is down! This round goes to the Justice League, but that fight was pretty decisive. Things look bleak for our champion. He's still got 2 more rounds with Wonder Woman coming up, as well as the other Leaguers who are patiently waiting their turns. Next up, we take to the skies with the Avian Warrior for a display that's quite literally out of this world!
Just as Vegeta and
Alright.
Steve were busy during the day's events, so too was the young Gohan, who had taken his father's advice and joined the Teen Titans for a day. To his
Okay.
surprise, he was quite glad to be around Damian Wayne. The two had become fast friends. Gohan was also a natural fit on the team. His immense strength gave them just the tank they needed to help handle threats that would otherwise be above their tier. The
Oh, it's a
boy
different Teen
was
Titans.
also
Okay.
amazed to meet the mysterious
Oh
Raven.
shit, they got my nigga Static,
His
Blue
knowledge
Beetle,
of magic
Raven.
being very
That Wonder
limited,
Girl?
as Lex didn't like the inexplicable force. Gohan did come off a little too strong though, with his endless stream of questions.
I see you're producing these shadowy tendrils. Are those creatures you're summoning from another dimension? Is that like Mr. Kakarot's Violet Rift? Or are you creating them from thin air? Converting the atoms in the atmosphere from gas to solid? Or is it just an aesthetic choice and you really just using advanced telepathy?
The daughter of the devil shot Gohan a glare, before his flurry of questions was interrupted by Damien.
Cease your interrogation of the party mage.
Oh. Wait, is that an RPG reference? If she's the mage, then what am I?
You're DPS. I'm the DM. Now focus on this raid boss.
Who, Deathstroke? That guy's a pushover. Hey, Mr. Wilson, remember me?
Say, you don't look that strong.
Kakarot and Hawkgirl were in a vicious
They had
tug of
Deathstroke
war,
looking like Mr.
gripping
Chow,
against each other
General Tao.
and pushing with all their might to send the other into the opposite goal.
Come on, you can't do
A
Deathstroke
ring
like
in
that.
the
Deathstroke
sky
kinda cool.
on either side.
General Tao
The
is
Saiyan
ass.
was still in his base form, but impressed at how strong Kendra had managed to get in the time since their hunt for the entities. All the members of the League had been training hard since those events, and the benefits couldn't be denied.
This is the most intense bout of Thenagarian Snareball I've ever seen. Here they go again, building up speed in another brutal mid-air collision. These two are liable to
Juicy
crash
Noodle?
each other into the
Okay.
ground before they either goes through with that goal. But Kakarot has yet to go Super Saiyan. Is he trying to pace himself for the remaining challenges? Could that backfire here? This is the stuff tournaments are made of!
Holding back on me? Why not go all out, Goldilocks?
Heh. To be honest, I didn't think I'd need it. But all that training you've done has paid off. Let's see if it's enough to keep up with this!
The Saiyan smiled as he rocketed towards her. But this had been her plan from the beginning. Hawkgirl's nth metal wings expanded and transformed as she began to absorb the flowing energy from the Super Saiyan. Kakarot didn't have any time to realize his mistake, as his power was ripped away from him and funneled into his opponent. Kendra's wings glowed as she used the stolen energy to drag the Saiyan through the
shit.
goal, giving Hawkgirl the victory.
Okay, hot
And
girl.
another round goes to the Justice League. We're 2 for 2, folks. Things are getting intense. Well, this next round will surely have you all on the edge of your seats as Kakarot will face off with the master of the Mindscape, Martian Manhunter. You won't want to miss a moment.
The Saiyan and the Martian sat atop 2 spiked pillars, stretching far into the sky. The goal was to remain perfectly balanced, meditating and controlling one's spirit, becoming in tune with nature. They seemed evenly matched, each a faithful practitioner of the art. For any students of meditation in the audience, watching the two was mesmerizing. For the majority of the audience, however, it had been an hour of nothing happening, which was extremely dull.
Incredible. I must admit defeat. This contest would continue for some time. However, peering into Kakarot's mind, I see he has somehow achieved a stillness with the natural world far beyond me. Congratulations.
That nigga asleep.
That's right, Chiefs. Pour that maple syrup all over my breakfast.
Oh.
Surprise victory, but a victory nonetheless.
That's funny.
Kakarot can quite literally turn things around in his sleep. Let's get back to something a little more action-packed.
The Ambassador of Peace re-entered the arena. It was time for their second round. A debate the two had was about to be settled right now. Diana took a seat across a large table from the Saiyan warrior. The mythic beings locked eyes, ready to do battle and settle their own civil war once and for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to witness feats of inhuman proportion as these 2 mythic warriors see who can best each other in a contest that takes guts. Who can eat the most ice cream?
The
What the
crowd
hell?
went wild as tubs of frozen ice cream of various
Alright, boy.
flavors were wheeled out onto the arena floor, and the contestants began to devour the sweet treat. Cassandra Cain had been watching all the events with wide eyes, excited to see Kakarot finally get to do what he talked about for over a month now. After some time, a small figure approached Cassandra.
Don't be alarmed. You can't tell, but it's me.
Oh, hi, Superboy. Nice hat.
Gah! How did you know it was me? Never mind. Please don't say anything. Father would be disappointed if he found out I came here instead of staying with the Titans.
Relax. I won't tell Daddy.
Please stop that.
Nope. But I will apologize. I came at you pretty hard when we first met, and seeing you grow and prove yourself over these months, I jumped the gun a bit. You're just a kid. You don't deserve to deal with Luthor's baggage.
It's okay, but thank you. I really do like your writing. It helped me learn a lot more about the world while I was in the lab. While I was training with Father, I mean.
Right. So, what do you make of this? This show by the League? You mind giving me the inside scoop on what it's about?
I believe it's trying to fix their public relations. That they're not unknowable gods lording above, but they're just silly, kind people. Trying to help.
Sounds like good intentions, but the world tends to prefer the hard-ass approach. No telling if this is having the intended effect.
I hope so.
Woo! Yeah! Go, 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 go! Eat it! Eat it! There
Hey,
you
yo.
go! Go, Kakarot! Woo!
Cassandra Cain joined in the crowd's cheers. Something that was very unexpected from the quiet girl.
Definitely.
She'd been an absolute beacon of joy during every round of the tournament. Watching her master and her heroes compete was better than she could have ever imagined. This was a great day. All the dark thoughts that normally clouded things seemed to have a silver lining. All the epic matches and the silly announcer made the girl smile. That was one movement of muscles she didn't have perfected, but one she was slowly mastering thanks to Kakarot's teachings.
Big cat.
I can't believe it! It's over 9,000! 9,000 bowls of ice cream consumed by Kakarot
You gotta do that.
Kent!
You gotta do that.
This round is over!
Thank Hera. I was the overconfident one this time, my friend.
Rain fell upon the city. It was always raining. And if it wasn't that, it was snowing. The dark, cold buildings wet with the tears of tragedy that was called Gotham City. One of the countless skyscrapers weathered the storm and stood strong among the blood-red sky. And on this building, perched atop a gargoyle, stood Kakarot Kent, peering across the city.
Can't sense him. Where could he be?
The tournament was reaching its finale now, and one of the last rounds was a massive game of hide-and-go-seek with Batman in Gotham City. At first, the League didn't even ask if Batman would participate. Bruce had always turned down requests like this, but Dick Grayson was different. He was making his own Batman, and he couldn't resist the chance to use every trick he'd learned and every gadget in the Batcave to try and outfox his champ.
Kakarot has 1 hour to find Batman. Can the master of martial arts find the Dark Knight in his hometown? Oh, the suspense! Pay close attention, folks. There could be a lot of close calls in this one. What possible strategy could Kakarot employ to track down Gotham's urban legend? Oh, it looks like Kakarot might have a lead as he's headed to Arkham Asylum, the madhouse of mayhem. Could the Caped Crusader truly have tucked himself away in there?
Kakarot entered the chilling doors of the asylum and made his way to the cell blocks. He was sure that Batman would be sneaking about in the rotten halls of the crumbling sanitarium. He opened one of the many cells and approached Waylon Jones, aka Killer Croc.
Have you seen Batman?
Hey, nigga, without all the breath, nigga, do you see Batman?
I'm looking for my friend Batman. Do you know where to find him?
Nah, mate.
Have you seen Batman? About this tall, has a cape with pointy ears?
You're despicable.
No, I'm Kakarot.
I hate this nigga.
Leave.
With Arkham abuzz, Kakarot was quickly running out of time. Gotham was a city of millions. There was no way he could ask everyone where Batman was. He'd gone into this challenge planning to just use his key sensing ability, then teleport. But there must have been some kind of gadget that was blocking him. He needed to think up a new plan. If the Violet Rift failed, then Kakarot would have to fall back on one of his most trusted techniques,
What's that is?
since he was a boy.
Sorry.
What's this? Kakarot Kent has got Batman's scent? He's making a beeline across the entire city, headed straight for the Caped Crusader. What a honker on the champion, ladies and gentlemen. Is there nothing he can't do?
As the last crook fell, Dick felt a presence behind him and instinctively turned to throw a punch that was caught by a smiling Kakarot.
Got ya! Should have tried smelling you sooner.
Drats, my excellent taste in self-care has bested me. Again. Nice work, champ.
Yeah, but I'm gonna need to be at my best for this next one, showstopper.
Two masters of physicality. One of the spiritual, the other of the physical. Kakarot Kent and Wally West in a sprinter's stance in the middle of Atlantis. The location was picked for its unique locale, but the race itself would span the globe. The question needed to be answered. Who was the fastest man alive?
Flash fact. An object's mass increases as it moves faster, making the speed of light a scientific impossibility. And to that, these two men say wrong! Nothing's impossible for our heroes, but who can truly call themselves the master of faster? The Scarlet Speedster or the Super Saiyan?
So, I know this is for charity. Want me to, go easy?
Never! Give me your best!
Thought you'd say that. Alright then.
On your marks. Ready... Set... Go!
No one else in the audience could see this. Even Leo Quintom's time-altering cameras could only track snapshots. And it was over, just as soon as it began.
Oh, damn.
But for Wally and Kakarot, it was the race of a lifetime. Kakarot blasted off at full power, his gi tearing as all of his energy was focused purely on momentum, hurtling out of the water and taking the lead. Wally couldn't get strong footing, so he lagged behind the rocket burst of the Super Saiyan. Kakarot was making headway, past Metropolis, past Gotham, but then he began to feel the sparks of lightning on his feet, and a smiling Wally overtook him, waving as he did. Across Europe, Wally was in a definitive lead, Kakarot pushing himself to the limit, but being unable to make any real headway. When they arrived in Africa, Kakarot almost fell to the floor, panting, sweat pouring off him in droves. But this was a challenge. Perhaps the greatest challenge he could face in this universe. Something like this wouldn't come again. He didn't have the time to wait any longer.
Okay.
Somehow, through sheer force of will, Kakarot broke through his ceiling and caught up to Wally, a beam of golden light now neck and neck with a lightning bolt of crimson. They were near the finish, and Wally West felt a thrill completely new to him, as Kakarot defied all explanation, pushing further and further, going faster and faster, no matter how tired he seemed. Then, they reached the finish line. It had been close, but Wally West stood as the victor. Kakarot, now in his base form, resting on the floor. Almost. He'd almost done it.
That? Wow, man. I didn't even know you could go that fast. Next time you might even win.
Yeah. Next time.
Way past cool. We couldn't see it, but just looking at our champions proves what trials they had to go through. The Flash has won, but Kakarot gave it his all. As we approach our final battle, it looks like this will be the point that decides who truly is the world's strongest. Who is better, Kakarot or the Justice League?
Yes, sir.
Now, my friend, I believe we have reached the finale. Recover. I shall prepare as long as you need.
The back alley bar that the rogues hung out in was in ruins. Vegeta had forced the information from the trickster as to where it was located and who to expect. Steve Trevor went along with things because it could mean more meta criminals off the street. But the prince was just hoping that one of these super criminals and meta-humans could give him the kind of challenge he was promised. And while the bar patrons had been more entertaining than the trickster, they were still pushovers to Vegeta. He didn't even need to leave his base form, something that infuriated him.
Trevor, be honest with me. Will I ever have a proper challenge on this pathetic rock? I can sense him, you know. growing stronger out there. He's fighting someone right now. I've been trying to ignore it all day, but whoever his opponent is, they're pushing him beyond his limits. What must I do to encounter a foe like that?
Well, I mean, dude's taking on the whole Justice League. Can't really expect a bunch of guys with gadgets to compare, right?
He's what?
Did you not know? The reason we're out here today. The Justice League's charity event. It's the tournament with Kakarot.
You mean to tell me that I've spent months cleaning up the trash of your world, being told that I'm not to fight Kakarot, and she's out there right now fighting Kakarot?
You seem mad. Are you mad? It's kind of hard to tell since you seem so mad all the time.
Vegeta was done with this farce. He left the bar and headed straight to the enormous levels of power he felt in the distance. He could sense it properly now that he was focused. Before, he'd tried to ignore it, to block Kakarot's power out of his mind. But now he could feel the strength of his rival, and a wicked smile grew on his face. He was stronger.
10, 9, 8. Wait a minute. And he's up yet again. This is the 4th knockdown so far.
Yield.
Why would I do that? This is a fight.
That it is.
With uncanny speed, Wonder Woman leapt across the stadium and ducked under Kakarot's left hook, throwing out a kick to his chest. It landed hard, but the Saiyan had braced himself enough that he could slam down his elbow onto her knee, seizing the opening to throw another kick of his own. Diana, too, could fight through pain, a fractured leg not stopping her from grasping Kakarot's arm in a lock and dragging them both to the floor in a seemingly inescapable hold. Kakarot responded by biting down hard on Diana's
That's a
hand,
Kakarot
making
move.
the Amazon lose her grip as he fired a ki blast directly into her chest, hurtling her up into the atmosphere. Wonder Woman threw her arms out, stopping her ascent, then dove right back to the ground. Diana realized that the only way to take out a Super Saiyan was to go even further beyond. She took the lasso of truth and slowly wrapped it across her arm, ready to finish this in one blow.
An excellent battle, Kakarot. Let us end this at our full might.
You got it. Dragon Fist!
Animation, I love it.
A shockwave echoed from the epicenter of the blast, shaking the entire galaxy as the two mightiest fell to the ground. It was called immediately a double knockout. Both heroes smiling with a satisfied look on their faces. Kakarot and Diana held each other up as their battle damage was healed by the Amazon's purple ray.
That was one great fight. All those years begging you to go all out on me. Thanks for finally doing it. Best gift I could have asked for.
Wonder Woman, however, had one last gift for the Saiyan. It was thanks to him that they'd all grown so strong. His single-minded obsession with growing stronger had changed them, changed everyone, and made them all strive to be better than they were the day before.
Right.
Diana wrapped his and her hand in the lasso of truth and raised them up in the air.
Hola, Kakarot Kent. I declare him the world's strongest.
Oh shit.
And there you have it! The Ambassador of Truth has let it be known, despite the events ending in a draw. I think it's safe to say that Kakarot Kent has
shit, here
proved
comes
himself
Vegeta.
to everyone in this arena.
Not everyone. Never to his prince.
Everyone in the stands was on edge. They knew of Vegeta's deeds on the Wonder Woman, but the shroud of danger still followed him wherever he went.
Some
Vegeta
WWE
couldn't
bullshit.
deny. The fear on their faces felt good.
Vegeta, I thought you were tasked to assist Steve Trevor.
While you openly mock me, I accomplished your tasks. Trevor, at least, was honest with me.
You know I can't allow you to.
Kakarot placed his hand on Diana's shoulder. She couldn't deny the look on his face, and she knew this was causing Vegeta immense pain. She had no right to decide their fates for them. They would have to settle this themselves. The future of the Saiyan race should be left in Saiyan hands.
I gotta do this. But, everyone, thank you for everything. I had the best time ever with you guys.
You know the place. I won't wait any longer.
Vegeta blasted off, heading to an all too familiar destination. Kakarot looked down, then to the stands. Cassandra and Gohan were there.
I had Gohan fight him.
Lois
Gohan,
too, writing
I could
notes
fight
on
that nigga.
what had just happened. He exchanged one smile with them both. His two students not understanding the weight of what it meant to him. So, they just smiled back. And the Super Saiyan flew off to meet his doom.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. It seems crazy, but I've been looking forward to this.
A Saiyan is born to battle. What happened here between us, neither will be satisfied until we settle it. I despise you, clown, and by my hand you shall fall before me.
I love
like
it.
the
I love
low-class
this.
trash you are, you shall look up at your prince and beg for death.
I ain't afraid of losing, and I could think of worse ways to go than in a fight with you. But, when we fought, you won. I know why I want this. My friends saved me. I want to know if I've truly got what it takes to win. But you?
That might be a thumbnail right here.
I had my pride restored by filth like
gotta
you.
be the thumbnail
The
right here.
super elite of the Saiyan race, reminded of his worth by a worm. It's a scar I will no
And my
longer
face in the
let
middle of the
fester.
thumbnail, like
I
this.
refuse to. Yes, I do acknowledge what you gave me. I cannot deny it. But that is a fate worse than death for our people. To have our identity defined by another. I can no longer be Darkseid's knight, but I cannot even be myself. For everything I am is now thanks to you.
Because I surpassed you? Because of my friends? I just don't get it, Vegeta.
You ignorant fool! You begged for my life to be spared, as though I was a helpless child! The last of my royal blood, my agency, stolen once again. Darkseid at least understood what he was doing. You stole everything with a smile on your face the entire time! For that, Kakarot, is why I am going to kill you.
All right, try it.
Kakarot powered up into his Super Saiyan form as well. Or he tried to. Instead of an aura of power, he was gripped by a sharp pain across his body, as blood came trickling from his lips.
No! Just a little longer. Please!
The Saiyan fell to his knees, Vegeta's eyes widening in shock and confusion at what was happening. Kakarot was coughing violently now, blood spurting from his mouth, his complexion
That nigga Vegeta about to be
turning
pissed off.
deathly pale, and his arm going numb. He was having a heart attack, one well overdue, given how recklessly he pushed his body today. He knew The entire time, he knew he was cutting his life short. But Kakarot would rather live as he wanted to than die a slow death without pushing himself. Vegeta rushed Kakarot, headbutting him, punching him, slamming his face to the ground, and then putting his boot over the Saiyan's head.
You were healed from today's battle. What is the meaning of this?
Yes. I can't hide it. I'm dying, Vegeta. Been sick for a couple of months now. I ain't got much time left. I wanted to give you your fight before I couldn't anymore.
My fight? My fight? You dare!
My Saiyan pride.
Pity! After everything I told you, you disgust me, Kakarot, in every aspect.
Vegeta slammed his foot down on the head even more, and then kicked him in the ribs until he got bald.
My triumph shall not be tainted by the fact that you're dying. No, I won't have it. You need to beat this, Kakarot. You need to beat this and face me at your full power. I won't accept anything else. Our battle cannot be reduced into a suicide pact. The Saiyan race deserves a better end.
I'm sorry, Vegeta. I'm sorry.
You're too stubborn to fall to this. Pick yourself up and rise from this pain. Only then will I grant you a warrior's end. A true Saiyan death.
Vegeta flew away with a heavy heart, leaving Kakarot alone, suffering through his entire body, burning alive. But he could survive it, just barely. And when he felt strong enough to get up, he called the Cloud Somersault to take him home. The chance for the two Super Saiyans to have their fated rematch seemed to have vanished in the winds of that historic battleground.
Damn. Yo, we gotta get that fight. That was a fire ass chapter right there. I didn't expect it to be that good, since I thought it wasn't really part of the story, but it is part of the story actually. So so how they gonna fix? I guess somebody gonna find some medicine eventually, Lex Luthor or something. And I can't wait to see. Are they gonna fight Darkseid too? We gotta see that too. I can't wait to see that. So 3 parts left. So we got 4 parts. 20, 21, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, 4 parts left. So I can't wait to see it, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how y'all feel about the video down below. And yeah, man, I'll catch y'all next time. Check out the last chapter right here. And yeah, peace.